Today, I show you how to draw hair. I'm Abraxas here, and I want to show you a simple way to draw hair. I've seen a lot of portraits lately where it looks like the hair is barely attached to the head, or it's like some flat cutout laying on the head, or like a rug monster like sucking the brain, ready to leap off the head at any second. The thing with drawing hair, it's really no different than drawing anything else. The key is to draw what you see and not what you think it's supposed to look like. Okay, to draw hair well, here are the 3 simple steps. Number 1, the underlying global form. This first refers to the shape of the head, the solid mass that helps define the overall shape of the hair. A lot of portraits seem to first just work on the details of the hair and forget that this hair is actually on a real cranium, real skull. You know, we have this shape. Now with shorter hair, obviously it's a lot easier, but with longer hair, it's pretty easy to get hung up on these little strands, these details, and forget that the hair is coming off of a head. So the hair, first, define it by the underlying global form, shape of the head. And the underlying global form also refers to the general mass of the hair that has a shape unto itself. Not thinking again about all those little details, the waves, the curls, whatever it is, just that general shape. And that's what I want to look at first. Okay, a pencil is good enough for this. So my first thing, I'll just give a sense of the head with, there we go, good enough. Well, let's give a little nose here so you kind of see, and some eyes, something like that. Okay. The hair, I'm going to give a slight a sense of its general mass. This shadow here indicates the light is coming from this way. It's a soft shadow, hard shadow being cut off, soft shadow where the form turns into the light. There's the hair. So you think first of the hair as being a large mass defined by light and shadow. You have a general sense of the shape. It doesn't matter to get that perfect just yet. My first thing is just to think about the darks, the midtones, and the light. And to establish this, always squint your eyes. It will really help you determine where those darks and midtones and lights are established. It's very easy, especially in hair, because of if a little strand picks up and beneath it is another really dark, even though it's going to be darker over here and lighter over here, but then you get these little spots where it's very dark here. You want to squint down so you don't get distracted by those little areas, those extra folds and everything. You just want the mass, the underlying global form. So my darks cut off about here. Medium, midtones about here. and the rest will be the lighter tones, which I'm not leaving the tone of the paper or white. Shouldn't be white, should definitely be toned down, at least in this case because the hair is a brunette. Now in a blonde, and especially in a high key painting, or if you're painting off a photograph that's already high key, that means that the image is mostly is more light than dark, it's almost washed out, then a lot of these details won't be picked up. The lights would be lost. But in this case, it's a brunette. We'll do a blonde next. Okay, my darkest dark. Right here, right here. Midtones, lights. I have a little pickup right there just because the hair folds in, but I'm not really thinking about that too much just yet. So now that you have a sense of the shape of the whole mass, now I can get into smaller forms. Not yet into the tiny details, no individual strands yet. I'm just thinking here, this is a bit of a curly hair, and hair that is more straight, you might have some waves in it, but hair that is super straight, you'll almost be able to skip this step. But first thing is just to, this is almost like sculpting. I have a very rough shape here, and now I'm going to just start refining it. Another quick little tip. The light is coming in this way, so I am shading perpendicular to that light. Dark, medium, lighter. That light comes in here, the shadow cuts across the form. It's easier than trying to shade it this way because I end up getting the same plane of shading running the whole direction. Oh, where are you? There you are. So if I can do it this way, I can create a darker to lighter more easily. Does that make sense? Okay, so this looks a little bit rough right now. I'm doing this very quickly, but aiming just to give you the idea. So I have the main planes of dark established and areas of the midtones. Now some of these little funny patches here, this is where it's going to get a little bit lighter. When I am doing those, I'm starting to define where the little smaller forms are happening. Now all of this area becomes lost in shadow. So I don't need to worry too much about that. And back in here as well. Now here's another thing. Each of these little forms, this little area here where light is being picked up, is not being picked up as strongly as it is over here. This area here is all in the is in stronger darks. So anywhere on your form, here's your underlying global form. This area is all darks. This area, your midtones. And this area, the lights. Darn it, let's make that darker. There we go. The forms of the hair, the little curls and everything that's happening. So each of these smaller forms, the curls, the waves, whatever it is, or folds of cloth, even if that's what you're working on, they are still going to be shaded and lit according to where they are on the whole mass. So a light here won't be as light here, and a dark over here won't be as dark as it is here, typically. Okay, and number 3, details, squigglies, little lines, filaments that say, I'm a hair. Okay, so I am erasing in the lighter areas, and for the most part erasing in a perpendicular motion to the light. Erase perpendicularly. That's just to first establish the band of light that's coming in, that the hair is reflecting, and then I start to go in. That's what's wonderful with these little erasers. You can pinch it down to a nice little point. Then I have my dark point and my light point. Now I can get into those cherished little filaments. All right, and just to give this a little bit, make a little more sense of it, I'm going to shade in the areas around it as well. Okay, so drawing hair does not have to be difficult. Now, this is a very rough sketch. It's done quickly, but you get the idea. Overall mass, and then just break it down into smaller chunks until finally you're working on those little details. If you want more tips like this, subscribe down here. Thanks for watching.